Good morning, students. So we'll start with the next topic, that is cholecystitis. So what is this cholecystitis? So cholecystitis, it is inflammation or swelling of the gallbladder. So cholecystitis, it is nothing but inflammation or swelling of the gallbladder. So this cholecystitis can be acute or sudden in onset. It can be acute or sudden in onset. So what is this? So cholecystitis, it is inflammation or swelling of the gallbladder. So cholecystitis can be acute or sudden. Okay, it can be acute or sudden in onset, and this usually can be for a long time. Okay, it can occur for a long time, which is usually it can be chronic, that is it will be present for a long time. So cholecystitis, it is nothing but inflammation or swelling of the gallbladder, which can be acute or chronic. Okay, which can be acute or chronic, that it can occur suddenly or it can be present for a longer time. So this is usually associated with the stone in the gallbladder. Okay, it is usually associated with the stone in the gallbladder. So that is cholelithiasis. That is cholecystitis. It is nothing but inflammation or swelling of the gallbladder. So which can be acute or chronic, that is it can be present for a longer duration, or it can be present. It can be present for a longer time, or it can be present like for a shorter duration, or suddenly it can occur suddenly. So this cholecystitis, it is usually associated with stones. It is usually associated with stone in the gallbladder. Okay, it is usually associated with stone in the gallbladder, that is usually known as cholelithiasis. So this can be this stone. Okay, this stone which will be trapped in the one of the duct. Okay, it can be trapped in one of the duct or opening of the gallbladder. Okay, or opening of the gallbladder. Okay, so it can be usually it is associated with stones. Okay, it is usually associated with stones in the gallbladder that becomes trapped in the one of the duct or opening of the gallbladder. It can be trapped in one of the duct or opening of the gallbladder. So it is cholecystitis. It is inflammation or swelling of the gallbladder. So this can be acute or sudden, and this is usually associated with the stone. Okay, it is usually associated with the stone that in the gallbladder, that is usually known as cholelithiasis, and this stone gets trapped in the so this stone usually gets trapped in the trapped in any one of the duct or opening of the gallbladder. Okay, or opening of the gallbladder. So that is usually there. So next is usually, so what might be the main cause? It is mainly due to the gallstones. Okay, it is mainly due to the gallstones. So why this occurs? It mainly occurs due to gallstones. What is the exact cause for this cholecystitis? It is mainly due to gallstones. Okay, it is mainly due to gallstones. So that is, now we'll see about this pathophysiology, which is usually present, which is usually linked to this cholecystitis. So the pathophysiology, it usually starts that it might be due to etiological factors. Okay, it can be due to etiological factors. So what is the etiological factors? It is mainly gallstones. Okay, it is mainly gallstones. So due to this gallstones, what is happening there? When there is gallstones, which is usually it's trapped in the bile duct or any of the openings of the gallbladder. So this obstructs the bile flow. So that is, gallstone obstructs the bile flow, and this gallstone which is there, it causes bile to become trapped in the gallbladder. Okay, so the gallstones which is present, okay, the gallstones which is present, it causes the bile to get trapped in the gallbladder. Then, so this usually what happens, the bile which has been trapped inside the gallbladder, the bile which has been trapped inside the gallbladder, it causes irritation and pressure in the gallbladder. Okay, the bile which is usually, okay, the bile which has been trapped in the gallbladder. Okay, the bile which has been trapped in the gallbladder, it causes irritation and pressure in the gallbladder. So due to this, what is happening? Gallbladder becomes inflamed and distended. Okay, due to this, what is happening? Gallbladder becomes inflamed and distended, and that usually leads edema of gallbladder and obstructs the bile flow. Okay, that usually leads to edema of the gallbladder and obstructs the bile flow. Then the cells in the gallbladder wall. Okay, the cells in the gallbladder wall become oxygen starved. Okay, the cells in the gallbladder wall become oxygen starved and usually die as a distended organ presses on the vessel and impairs blood flow. So that is, the cells which is there in the gallbladder wall, it becomes oxygen starved. Okay, so there is like less oxygen, and usually due to this, what is happening? It dies. Okay, due to this, what is happening? It dies as the distended organ when it presses the vessels and impairs the blood flow. So this dead cells, okay, the dead cells which is died due to oxygen starvation, okay, the dead cells which is dying, the cells which is dying due to oxygen starvation, it will start slough off, okay, it will usually starts slough off, and exudate covers ulcerated area, okay, and exudate covers ulcerated area, and this usually causes this cholecystitis, okay, this usually causes this cholecystitis. Saying that it is mildly pathophysiology, that is mildly due to the etiological factors. So what is happening? The gallstone usually starts obstructing the bile flow. So once the gallstone starts obstructing the bile flow gets trapped in the gallbladder. Okay, the bile gets trapped in the gallbladder, and it causes like inflammation, or it causes pressure, and it causes irritation in the gallbladder. So that due to this, what is happening? The gallbladder is inflamed now. Okay, due to this, what is happening? The gallbladder is inflamed now. Edema also will be there. Okay, so the edema of the gallbladder starts then. So due to this, cell starts dying due to the oxygen starvation. So once the cell starts dying, so that what happens is that it covers the ulcerated area. The exudate covers the ulcerated area, and that it usually leads to cholecystitis. So next we'll see what are the symptoms of this cholecystitis. So symptoms mainly it includes is that there will be pain, tenderness, rigidity of the upper abdomen. Okay, so there will be pain, tenderness, rigidity of the upper abdomen. So that is usually the main symptoms. Okay, the pain, tenderness and rigidity of the upper abdomen is the main symptoms that is usually associated with this cholecystitis. The pain which is there for the person, okay, the pain which is there for the person, it will radiate to the back, okay, it will radiate to the back or to the right shoulder, okay, or to the right shoulder. So what is that? The pain usually radiates to the back, or it radiates to the right shoulder, okay, it radiates to the right shoulder. So that is usually about this thing. So the main symptoms, pain, tenderness, or it might be rigidity of the upper abdomen, okay, or it might be the rigidity of the upper abdomen. The pain which is present, it usually radiates to the back, or it radiates to the it radiates to the right shoulder, okay, it radiates to the right shoulder, okay, so that is usually present. And then the other symptoms will be like nausea, vomiting, loss of appetite will be there, indigestion can occur. So the nausea, vomiting, loss of appetite, indigestion occurs. Then there will be low grade fever, okay, so they will be having low grade fever. Jaundice will be there, as well as they will be having abdominal fullness, okay, they feel that abdomen, like they will be feeling always full, okay, they feel that always they are filled, so no, they are not feeling any hungry, so that is usually there. And also they will be having clay colored stool, okay, also they will be having clay colored stools. So that is usually the symptoms that is associated with cholecystitis. What are that? Pain, tenderness and rigidity of the upper abdomen is the main symptoms. Pain usually radiates to the back, and it radiates to the right shoulder. Then they will be having nausea, vomiting, loss of appetite. Then they will be having indigestion, low grade fever will be there, jaundice, clay colored stools, as well as abdominal fullness will be present. Okay, these are the symptoms that is usually associated with cholecystitis. So next is diagnostic evaluation. So in case of this diagnostic evaluation, the first thing that we go to is mainly history collection and physical examination. So diagnosis that we go to is mainly the first is that history collection and physical examination. Abdominal ultrasound will be done. Okay, abdominal ultrasound will be done. Then we go with CT scanning. Okay, so that is history collection, physical examination, abdominal ultrasound, CT scan, abdominal X-ray will be done. Okay, abdominal X-ray will be done. Then we go with blood test. Okay, this is mainly done to check out the signs of infection. Okay, so the blood test is mainly done to check out the signs of infection. So what is that? History and history taking, physical examination, abdominal ultrasound, CT scan, abdominal X-rays, and also they will go with blood test. This blood test is done mainly to look for the signs of infection. It is done mainly to look for the signs of infection. So this is about this diagnostic evaluation that is usually done in case of cholecystitis. So next is management. So the management that we go. So normally, initially the treatment when we start, we have to hospitalize the person. Okay, we have to hospitalize the person. Then the patient is given with started with fluids. Okay, so it is usually given through intravenously. Okay, it is usually given through intravenously. So that is usually done. So then antiemetic is given. Okay, antiemetic is given to reduce like nausea and vomiting, whatever it is there. So that is antiemetic is given. So patient is having pain, so therefore we go with giving them analgesics. That is meperidine is given. Okay, so that is mainly meperidine is given. So that is usually about this thing. So the antibiotics such as ampicillin or sulbactam or piperacillin or tazobactam, it is usually given in case of non-life-threatening cases of cholecystitis. So it is antibiotics which we give. It includes ampicillin or sulbactam or piperacillin or tazobactam. This is usually given for non-infective or non-threatening condition, like non-threatening cases of cholecystitis. So in case of life-threatening cholecystitis, okay, in case of life-threatening cholecystitis, we give them imipenem, okay, we give them imipenem or cilastalin, okay, we give them imipenem or cilastalin. So that is usually what happens. So in life-threatening cases, we give them imipenem or cilastalin. It is usually given. So that is mainly it is there. So then alternatively, we go giving them metronidazole. That is usually, or a third generation medication, that is cephalosporin and ciprofloxacin is given. So normally, in case of this is usually what happens. Initially, the treatment that we give is that we have to. So initial treatment of this is that we have to hospitalize the patient. Then we have to start with fluids, that is intravenously we have to give them fluids. Then in case of antiemetics is given, analgesic is given, that is meperidine is the drug of choice. Then we give them antibiotics in non-threatening conditions of cholecystitis, that is ampicillin will be given, piperacillin will be given. Next, in case of life-threatening thing, we give them cilastalin or meropenem is given. And next, alternatively, we give them metronidazole or third generation drugs, that is ciprofloxacin or cephalosporin is given. So main treatment for this acute cholecystitis, it is surgery. The main treatment for this cholecystitis, it is surgery. It is mainly to remove gallbladder. Okay, it is mainly to remove gallbladder, where we go with cholecystectomy. Okay, where we go with cholecystectomy. So this is mainly a small incision will be done in the abdomen. That is usually a laparoscopic surgery. Okay, so laparoscopic surgery. So it is usually done, and in few cases lithotripsy will be done. That is breaking up of the stone in the gallbladder. So this is by passing sound waves. They usually break down the stones. So this is usually the management of this cholecystitis. So that is mainly we go with few drugs will be given. Then we go with, after that also if it is not reduced, then we go with surgery, that is cholecystitis will be done. This is usually a laparoscopic surgery, and few cases we go with lithotripsy, that is breaking down of the gallstones. So this is about this cholecystitis. So cholecystitis is nothing but inflammation of the gallbladder. So this mainly occurs due to gallstones. Okay, it mainly occurs due to gallstones.